This is the heartbreaking story of Percy Thomas Mapp, who was born in Nottingham, England in 1894. His father worked as a railway stoker, but tragedy struck the family in 1901 as his father passed away when Percy was just 7 years old. Percy's mother was left with 2 children and no breadwinner, and by 1904 Percy and his sister were living with their grandmother, who worked as a housekeeper for a wealthy lace manufacturer named Mr. Dexter. But children were a nuisance in a grand house. Claiming the boy lacked food and clothing, Mr. Dexter didn't offer help. Instead, he wrote to Dr. Barnardo's and asked them to take Percy away. Percy was just 9 years old when he was separated from his sister and mother. He was sent to the Jersey home to train for a life of labour. Between 1869 and 1930, thousands of children were sent to Canada, who were mostly orphans or destitute children. In 1907, at age 12, Percy was sent to Canada on the SS Kensington, sailing toward a new life in Canada as a British home child. He was placed on a farm in Egremont, Ontario. It wasn't easy. Once a horse kicked him so hard it shattered his leg. Despite the injury happening on the job, the farmer refused to pay the medical bills, accusing the boy of frightening the horse. Percy, not wanting to cause trouble, paid for his own hospital stay out of his meagre wages. When he turned 18, the authorities told him to stay in farming. They told him that if he tried to go to business school, he'd end up as a second-rate clerk, at the bottom of the ladder. Percy, who now started calling himself Peter, ignored them. He chose his own path. He went to business college and became a bookkeeper. When World War I broke out, he didn't hesitate. He traded his ledger for a uniform and signed up for the Canadian Expeditionary Force. Thankfully, he survived the war, and the years after the war were a bit of a mystery, but Peter eventually found his way back to England. He worked as a civil servant in Whitehall, working for the Ministry of Agriculture. He was a key figure in the Dig for Victory campaign, using his farming background to help Britain survive the war. He even met Queen Mary, a far cry from the bottom of the ladder. By this time he was married, but his wife left him in 1944 and was never seen again. He married again months later to a woman 27 years his junior, and he became a father at the age of 62. When he was left a widower in his late 60s, he raised his young son alone while battling his own failing health. He passed away in 1965 at the age of 70. Percy, or Peter as he was more commonly known, was more than just a stat in the British Home Child archives. He was a boy who was cast out, but who spent his life proving that his worth was not defined by where he started, but by the strength of his character. So rest in peace. You will be remembered.